So can you patent an idea without prototyping? Hi, I'm JD Houvener, owner, founder, and patent attorney here at Bold Patents Law Firm. And in this long form video, we're going to go through 4 major sections of idea generation, protecting patents with and without prototypes. So let's jump into this. We're going to start with our first section, which is about going from idea to invention. Is your idea ready for patenting, or should you prototype first? Okay, let's unpack this a bit. An idea is something that, let's say it, let's frankly be honest, everybody has ideas. Ideas are dime a dozen. You've heard that saying before, and it's true. While everybody does have an idea, not everyone has an invention. And I write about this in my book, Bold A Ideas, the 3rd edition of my book. It just got released last year. That ideas, while they may be fleeting and not really even fully conceived yet, an invention is something that you have thought through. Not even having written down, but writing it down is a good idea. Formulating it clearly in your mind, maybe even working with AI chatbots to get it refined and enough detail. The question is it enough detail? Here's the question. That's kind of the major point, is enablement. Enablement is a fancy legal term in the patent world that means you've got enough detail, enough meat on the bones, if you will, describing your product, your solution, such that you could give that document to someone else in the field of an industry, in the invention field, and they could go make it. That's the level of detail you need to be at for enablement. So is your idea ready for prototyping? Well, before I answer that question, I ask, is your idea an invention? Once you've crossed that barrier, once you've got enough formulation, enough conception to invent it, to truly have an invention, now the question is, do I have an invention that should be prototyped before I file for a patent? That is section 2. Let's jump into that. So once you've gotten to the point where you've got an idea went from an idea to an invention, which was step 1, now you have an invention. And the question is, should you spend money, time, and effort prototyping that invention before filing a patent on it? And there's sort of 2 subparts to this section. One is, if you need to validate the invention on your own, meaning you have this sort of gap in your heart, you're not sure whether the invention is going to actually work the way you think it does. It's still theoretical, kind of still might work in a lab setting, but you haven't proven it to yourself yet. You've got to cross this threshold before you file. Prove it to yourself, even in a small scale version, some way to validate that the real world, the functional pieces or the system and method, the software will perform to some degree what you hope to in your patent. Make sure there's no doubt that you are 100% confident that your invention will do what it says it will do. Now, subsection B, once you've gotten to that point, and this is for those types of inventions that cannot be built, the scale cannot be shrunk down. Let's think about energy production, right? If you've got an invention that required massive amounts of hydropower or solar or some sort of technology that requires large scale investment to test it, to really validate it, then you should look into validation methods in a simulation. Even if you can't build a true physical prototype, a simulated third party, whether it be software or some other method through calculations, this is the way to go. Again, it's a validation step before filing. For you, the inventor, the business owner of what you're hopefully become, a budding enterprise to bring in revenue, either through your own business operations or through intellectual property licensing and sale. You've got to be the director here and know without a shadow of a doubt that your invention is indeed a solution to the problem you're heading out to solve, not just a theoretical pie in the sky, maybe someday will be implemented. You need to have documented evidence that your invention does what you say it will do. In fact, this is going to be one of the evidence components to eventually writing the patent application. All right, so we're through step 1, which is going from idea to invention. Step 2, invention to validation. Your own inventor validated prototype. This is step 2. We just talked about it. This can be that classic garage, Frankenstein model that is inefficient, awful looking, but does what your invention says. Or it could be that subsection B, which is a simulation via software or other tool that can show you that it will work definitively. Once we're through that validation step, it's time to roll up your sleeves, hire a patent attorney. This section 3, file your patent application. Now, there's a few sub-steps here. We've been through this on other videos. When you're working with legal counsel and a patent attorney, especially if you work with bulk patents, we're going to take our time. We're not going to file right away. We're going to put you to the test, provide a patentability opinion on your invention. And take a look back at other pieces of prior art, other inventions, other technologies that are already on the market to make sure yours is different, novel, not an obvious version of some other piece of prior art, some other technology already out there. That is going to be the huge barrier to cross. Is your invention patentable? Is it something that we as a patent attorney would recommend that you file? This big section 3 is the beginning of filing your patent. Once you get filed, you are patent pending. And what you submit is so vital. Working with a patent attorney to draft a really nice, broad-based publication. It's a provisional patent application in many cases. Oftentimes, though, you do jump right to the non-provisional. But that first filing that sets the priority date for all future filings on that invention really has a lot of emphasis on, is it going to be covered in the broadest way? Does it cover all possible versions of your invention? And will it be able to draw, when we finally draft claims, priority back to it? So really having full coverage on that provisional is important. And that's why our patent attorneys here at Bold take extra time. Okay. Now, you're not done yet. We're still on the topic of prototyping and developing your product. Just because you filed a patent application doesn't mean you should stop. Section 4, the last step here, validating your market once you sell the product available to the free market. This is the final step of validation. Typically, it's after you filed your patent application. We patent attorneys usually recommend you do not go public until you file and get patent pending. And so now, once you're patent pending, it's on. We recommend manufacturing, getting to a final design, and selling your product to the market to really inform yourself as to any potential iterations, versions, and different embodiments, we call it, once it hits the market. Customers will tell you, without a doubt, whether your product is thumbs up or thumbs down, or maybe somewhere in the middle. You'll be able to make those tweaks and adjustments once you start selling. And you'll learn and get informed and update your patent application, file continuations, divisionals, subsequent applications to protect what you're eventually going to sell. At the end of the day, we want you to end up with a patent portfolio that will protect what you're selling. So don't get caught up thinking you're only going to claim with one patent. Know that you're going to probably have to make subsequent filings, changes, modifications as it goes through prosecution before it gets to grant. All right, guys, all 4 sections we covered about prototyping from idea all the way to patent grant. If you have any questions about these 4 big steps, any little sub-steps in between, feel free to book a free discovery call at boldpatents.com or give us a call on our website. Take care, everybody. Have an awesome day. Go big, go bold.